Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. What's the word? What's the word? First and foremost, we give our honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Abba Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Hey, cap late, man. Cap late today. It's so funny because even when I recognized I wasn't gonna make it at 2:30, I mean at 2 o'clock, I was like, all right, I'll probably be able to make it by 2:30. Get a quick little 30 minutes in before my brother Ariala gonna come on. I'm not even really sure what channel. If anybody's in here, y'all know what channel brother Ariala from Philly goes in on. Like I said, I was trying to catch it. I was trying to catch the 2:30 mark so I can come over here and say, 2:30, baby, won't you meet me on the stream? 2:30, baby, 100, baby, find me. I don't know what channel that brother going. I'll probably have to text him, but yeah, 3 o'clock that brother's gonna go on, and he got some good content that he put out. Huh? All right, leave the door open. You know where they at? Everybody doing. Oh, I also want to shout out to the sister Zion Yehuda for your donation. We appreciate you, sis, for real, right? In all honesty and sincerity, we appreciate you. But yeah, I want to say Ariala will be going live from the Sakari Philly channel. So go check out the Sakari Philly channel. Like, subscribe that channel as well. Share that channel, and leave comments on the videos as well, man. We love the feedback. We love to be able to interact with, our brothers and sisters that support us. So thank you, sis. Listen, thank you for all you do. Again, being able to just tune in and build that love and that family environment for the comment board and for the videos, and just even dealing with Sakari, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody else as well. Like I said, I love coming in here, starting that live, giving it a few minutes before we start, and everybody's just shaloming each other, extending that love and extending that peace. That's power. We don't listen outside of maybe Fridays. Y'all about Shem Yashar Brakatah the water. Hey, let's keep that $2 drive alive. Okay. For the sister Tanya, I appreciate you. But outside of Fridays, which is usually when on Fridays San Diego go live on the main Sakari channel. So that's usually what we see a lot of the brothers that's hating. Sakari San Diego hasn't built up that hate yet. But real quick, just so we understand and know what we're doing here, I don't really have much to talk about today. Like I said, I am late. I only got about 20 minutes, but I'm putting a fresh link in the chat. If anybody want to come on, like I said, midday decompress, or you got comments, anything you're going through. Hey, anything also that you see. If there's even anything that you see in Israel right now that you just want to voice and say, look, this is a problem, or this is what we need to do better, or this is something I'm struggling with. Anything. Midday decompress. I'm gonna try to start doing these things a lot more often, maybe 2, maybe 3 times a week. When my precepts are running a little low. But that's right, man. Sakari Detroit. Hey, I'll be out there end of the month, Lord willing. But it's all planned out. It's all ready to go. So I'm near. I've been telling brothers I'm gonna be in Detroit, man. I told them we were supposed to be out there. I was gonna, we was gonna go with my brother Danyala, and things went a little different last year. So yeah, we would have been out there. This would have been round 2. This was the second go round, but definitely finna go out to Detroit and make my abode there. Not a permanent abode, because Cap is not leaving San Diego. Don't even think about it. There's nothing that compares, okay? It's funny too, as much as I brag about like San Diego weather, I always got like a hoodie on. Today I don't have a hoodie on, but it's right there next to me. It's right over here to the right. Trust and believe. When I come on a Riverside, jeez, I ain't been to Riverside in a while, man. Funny thing, because like I said, you know, kind of turn this into like a little story time slash, you know, woes slash concerns slash comments. Uh, Sakari Riverside started with a brother named Sergio, right? I want to say the brother's still, you know, involved in the truth. He never, hey, Sister Zion, trust me, I understand. But it was a brother named Sergio. Like I said, I want to say he's still involved in the truth. He never actually joined Sakari, but you know, he was involved. And you know, he just hit Chief up and was like, listen, man, I'm up in, you know, Riverside, you know, I watch y'all, rock with y'all. You know, if y'all can come up here, cool. So we go up there, we visit him. He invited us into his home. Good brother, you know, stand-up dude. Uh, and then he introduced us to a brother named Ibaja. What's Ibaja's? I ain't even gonna put his government out like that, but you know, he was a brother named Ibaja. So Ibaja comes and pretty much is the starter of Sakari, IE, so to speak, or Sakari San Bernardino, you know, Riverside County. Well, no, excuse me, San Bernardino. So saying all of that to say, every Sunday, so we was having camp on Saturdays at the time. He's going through some things lately, Cap. Who's going through some things lately? Yeah, and listen. It's funny. The Sister Tanya right now, I just said it's 98 degrees. So this is what we're gonna tell you. At the time when I first met Chief and Deacon, they were going out on Sundays, and we did that for a while. Then we switched it to Saturdays. Once we started getting more people, we started going out Saturdays. Then we made Sunday. Okay, Sergio. Oh, okay. So she know who Sergio is. Like I said, if the brother's going through things, man, we will definitely add that brother to, you know, the list of people that we have to pray for. We pray that brother, you know, makes a comeback, or you know, the Most High doesn't allow him to, you know, continue to just fall. Or if he does, hopefully it's for the purpose of building them back up, humbling them down, you know, so the Most High can really, you know, continue to work with him. Because again, he's the reason why we have Sakari Riverside or Sakari IE. But saying all that to say, he introduced us to Ibaja. Ibaja turns that into, you know, us coming up there every Sunday, which, man, Cap talking too much, which through the spirit, it's all good. I don't regret any of it, man. I definitely enjoy myself. But me just talking too much, I told Chief, I said, man, we should just start going out there every Sunday. And Chief was just like, you right. So, man, we every Sunday, me, Chief, and Sergeant Shamar, right? We'll book it up to San Bernardino, right there on Baseline and Waterman. I think that's what it is. Waterman and Baseline. Right where that CVS or Walgreens, I forget exactly what it is, right across the street from that liquor store. And it's a Church's Chicken right there. And there's like a big parking lot and a bunch of little shopping center on the other side. But it's funny the sister just said right now, yeah, Cap, it's 98 degrees out here. When we was going out there, almost every time it was at 100 or over 100. And one day, I don't know what was going on with Sarge. I don't know if the brother had a little too much wine. I don't know if the brother had ate something bad, but we came to pick him up, and I mean, he was sick. Oh, he was sick. He was just in the back seat, just linked up against the window, just down and out. And when we get to the IE, when we get to Baseline and Waterman, it's 114 degrees. Man, I want to say, I think I might have the video on my Snapchat. I might have a video on my Snapchat. Let's say stories. Look back 2017. Was it 2017? Goodness gracious. I know it was one of them times, man, around then, but we was going up there. It was 114 degrees. Sarge, hey, through the spirit of the Most High, by Shema Mashak Yahushai, hey, strapped himself up. We went out there, man. We had a beautiful camp that day. A lot of edification, you know, and it turned into something. IE turned into, you know, making an opportunity away for Long Beach to even come along. And you know, it just turns into something beautiful, man, when you really commit yourself to to the works of the Most High God. But that's my IE story, you know. And the sister Zion says she's tired of this Pride Month. Here's the thing, right? Anytime you go out into the world, man, we know we live in America, right? There's going to be all manners of wickedness and iniquity just around us, right? Instead of getting angry and getting upset, like I said, you gotta have pity on our people. So instead of seeing something and just be like, oh man, shit just gets on my nerves. Sit there and game plan. Like if I was to approach this person right now, how could I get them to receive the truth? Right? It's not a matter of, oh, what would I say to rebuke them? Like this is the first thing, Israel, you get into the truth, you learn the law, statutes, the commandments, and this is the first thing you want to do. You want to hear. You want to just start beckoning your hand at them. You want to start reproving. You want to start rebuking. You want to start correcting. And one thing we say here in the Sakari is, shoot, sometimes you got to, find the angle that is going to get them to listen and receive it, not try to find the angle that's going to cut them to shreds, which is going to pretty much, especially when you're dealing with that community. I'm not going to list it because I don't want to get flagged. Especially when you're dealing with that community. You have to recognize that 99% of the time, their lifestyle is not supported by their family. And by no means am I trying to say that we should support it, but we definitely have to recognize we got to approach them differently than what they've seen and what they've experienced their family approach them, which is probably on some, super duper Christian, approach and Christian doctrine and angle that they're going to come on. So we can't do that. We have to talk to them with the level of respect. They already are expecting you to down them, to condemn them, and to rebuke them. Nah, approach them trying to understand, and then hopefully through the Spirit, they'll give you the same ear to understand you. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we have to recognize that the approach that we should take is, gain an understanding from both sides and then letting them know, like, listen, we are at a deficit. We are starting behind the line in this race to win and to succeed at life. And if there's something that you're experiencing, or if it's something that you're feeling because you know the angle, the the reasoning most of the time behind it. Oh, I've had these feelings. I've had these experiences. I have these thoughts, and they just have never left. Okay, cool. Now recognize people have thoughts that are contrary to the truth. Maybe not in that direction, but you still have thoughts that are contrary to the truth based off of your circumstance, based off of your experiences, based off of your environment. And somebody had to break it down to you. Me personally, I feel like it's a lifestyle choice. I don't think that it's something that, is innate. I don't think it's just something that you just cannot control and cannot handle. I think it's a perspective that's developed based off of life experience and environment that you're in, mixed in with a little curiosity as well. And where they have fallen short there, or where they have went in that direction, you got to sit here and talk to them like they people and not like they stupid. Because don't nobody want to be talked to like they stupid. Don't nobody want to be talked to like their life choices are just the worst thing that they could possibly do. Even though you might feel that way, you gotta find a different way to, express this and have this conversation with them. And it's so funny because to my brother Marcus G. I mean, I appreciate you. Watch this. Even when I'm talking about the situation where we was in, the IE with my brother Ibaja, who's actually the leader of 12 Gates right now. Shout out to 12 Gates. Right. We ran into a brother from that community, and he was actually learning or had been watching another camp. And I came straight out and asked him, like, listen, are you, part of this community? He says, yeah. And we just had a basic conversation with him. We didn't go to the Leviticus 20, or excuse me, Exodus 20 and 13. We didn't go to the Romans 1. We didn't go to any of those things because he told us that he had been learning. So I'm sure he had already heard these scriptures. And I asked him, like, you know, you familiar? He's like, yeah, they told me, but you know, I mean, it didn't really change anything. And that's something that we have to understand. When we just sit up and just throw scriptures at people, they're useful, but it's not going to just change anything just because you read the scripture to them. That might have worked for you. That might have worked for you. And before we even got on this live, I was on the phone with Chief, and he was telling me about our brother Ariala that's going to go on. So make sure y'all check the brother Ariala, powerful brother officer out there in Philly, you know, really building and doing his thing with the Philly camp. Appreciate the brother, love the brother. But he was just talking about how, you know, he was involved with, you know, his botany. So he used to, you know, be an organic farmer, right, or gardener rather. And he was just talking about how different seeds need different type of attention to grow. And even with different type of attention that these seeds need to grow, they're all still going to grow at different times. And it reminded me of something that they said a bamboo tree grows 90 feet over the course of 5 years. But within the first 4 years, it only grows 2 feet. So as you sitting there year after year after year, watering this plant, tending to this plant, right, doing your husbandry duties to this plant, it's not giving you what you were expecting it to, right? But you got to keep, you know, positioning it, giving it sun. You got to keep giving it nutrients, keep watering it, and making sure that, you know, it's healthy. And in 4 years, you're looking like, damn, you know what I mean? It's only grow 2 feet. Sometimes you be ready to forget. You be ready to shake the dust off your feet and cast that brother behind you or that sister behind you and treat him as a heathen and a publican. We all know the scriptures that we go to. Oh, heathen and publican. Well, I once, twice, 3 times, private, 2 witnesses, before the congregation. You know what? I'm done with him. I don't want to talk to him no more. Heathen and publican. Sure, but you putting yourself in a position like you got it together and you know. My bad. Putter out. Like I said, man, you know, we are expecting ourselves out of other people, and you putting yourself on a level as if you got things all figured out, and there's not something that you're struggling and dealing with. Whether your struggles came at level or step 4 or 5, and other people are struggling at level 1, we all are a work in progress. Listen, the fact that I'm late today, Cap is a work in progress. I have a issue with time management. Okay, but I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? Love me anyway. Don't be okay with me being late, but still be patient with me and still walk with me because, hey, I might be in my 3rd year as a bamboo tree. You know what I'm saying? And in the 4th year, I might be a little bit better, but in that last 5th year, boom, it shoots up a whole 88 feet. You know, sometimes that's just the process of how things work. That's just a process of how things go. So, that's what, you know, Chief had mentioned about the brother Ariella that's going to go in at 3. That's a situation that we experienced going back when we was going to Riverside, and now that we're experiencing, you know, in today's times where we're having these months where they're celebrating this lifestyle that we, you know, are against, these lifestyle choices that are condemned in the book that we live our lives off of and base our lives off of. We just have to understand and recognize it's going to take time. You be the example. You be patient. Beckoning your hand at them is really not going to do nothing. It's going to make great for TV. It's going to make a great video for people to watch. But if the goal is for us to, you know, be converting the soul with the perfect laws and scriptures that the Most High has given us, just be a little bit patient with them. And instead of getting so angry with them, because you're going to see them. So ultimately what's going to happen is they're going to drive you crazy. They're over there, you know, from what they projected it to the public, comfortable, living their life, And every time they walk by you, they gonna throw your mood off. Never. I remember I told if y'all familiar with the Woolly Bullies, man, shout out to the Woolly Bullies, man. My brother Masha or Nelius. I know he had changed his name once. I don't know if he changed it again, but Nelius or Masha from the Woolly Bullies. Shout out to them. I was had a conversation. We used to just sit up and argue with each other for hours, and they used to keep throwing out these little, little digs, and they thought that it was gonna bother me. And I'm like, dude, no, I will annoy you and get on your nerves long before you get on mine. I'm gonna piss you off long before you piss me off. So, people from that community, I would never allow them to have such an effect on my day. As much as I love the Most High, as much as I love Israel, as much as I want to see all my people, get this truth and win. Even if you don't, at this point in time in my walk, hey, Most High will, you get it together. If not, you know what you have coming. And that's just the approach. So don't allow these, these months or these times or these festive times for this wickedness. Don't let that get you down. Make it more of a point for you to lock down, lock in, right? And try to figure out different ways that we can be able to communicate with our people. We also have to recognize, man, this methodology of how we approach and how we talk to people, it stems from a point in time where that stuff worked. In the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, you was, and you got to recognize, man, that this style was created by New York brothers. And I want to use the other word, but, not in a derogatory way, but New York niggas, like, they rude as hell. They rude, and they rude. And I ain't got no problem with it. I'm saying? My pops from New York, this is how I was raised. So this is why I understand and I know firsthand, but they rude. Their communication is different over there. So when you're dealing with sensitive people or a topic that might be sensitive to someone's lifestyle, is what it is. We just have to, be wise as serpents, yet harmless as doves. We're not going to lessen the truth. We're not going to dumb it down. But again, our delivery and what we're trying to convey to them, and a lot of times for me, especially when you guys watch, the videos that I have posted or that I'm going to post, I try and, get an understanding first so that I know what their objectives are, what things that they're battling with. And then I'm able to kind of establish how recognize you're the physician. If you're the physician, you got this truth, you're the physician, and they're the patient that needs healing, that needs treatment, that needs a cure. You can't just go in there and say, oh, you got a cough? Yeah, you need to just take this. This is something. No, what's causing the cough? What's causing the fever? What's causing the sweats? What's causing the upset stomach? The regurgitation. What's causing the bowel issue, right? You never know. It can be an infection. It could be bacteria. It could be something failing, right? It could be something that's just weak. Like sometimes it don't have to be like some sort of attack on your body. It's a brother in our camp right now, got heart issues. It's a brother that prospects for our camp, got heart issues. Doctors can't tell him what the hell is wrong. There's no infection or virus or bacteria that's attacking his body. Sometimes, especially dealing with Jakes, we just dealt a bad heart, and then it causes other things to affect us. You got to find out what the issue is and then address the issue, address the root of the ailment or the problem. And that's how we'll find ourselves receiving better results. We are in these corners. I've been doing it for a long. Every method, I done tried it. I done cursed people out. I done called them out their name. I done belittled. I done berated. I done been patient. I done, I done scriptured them to death. What we gonna do? We gonna keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, or we gonna, adjust? Same scriptures, same precepts, but we're gonna adjust the order in which we deliver them. We're gonna adjust the manner in which we deliver them so that we can get a better understanding and actually get across. Watch this though. We also have to recognize something. Plant the seed. Stop expecting first round knockouts. Israel, you are not going to get first round knockouts. It's not going to happen. Don't expect it. We have to go and plant the seed. Planting the seed takes patience. You have to be fishers of men. Fishing takes patience. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Sower that went to go sow seeds, and being a sower that sows seeds, and being a fisher of men. Two things that takes patience, two things that takes skill and tactic. And from there, you see things flourish. From there, you see things grow. And from there, you see things brought to you in abundance. All right. So again, head over to, let me make sure. Have Ariana's number. My bad. I'm just trying to let y'all know what's going on. Let me see what's going on. Shalom, man. B-Boy 760. Shalom. Rockawam. Shalom. This is that teaching in school about it is not cool. I also disagree with that as well. That's why I have my son in homeschool, and I'm fortunate enough to have that. Man, I thank the Most High that I have that opportunity. Funny thing too, because having him in homeschool is a bit of a challenge. He because I have to pretty much create the lesson plans for him. He's got a teacher that he zooms once a month, but as far as the lesson plans and what he's learning and how he's learning, and me having to break down this ridiculous language that we call English, God, it's horrible. Me and my son, we watched Blood and Bone last night, and we had watched it before. He was just like, "Dad, what was the name of that one movie with the Street Fighter guy?" Right. And it's so funny, man, dealing with white supremacy. In my mind, he said Street Fighter. I'm thinking about some buff white dude with the blonde hair buzz cut, with the fade, and with the Duke Nukem cut. And I'm like, I don't remember what movie we watched for Street Fighter, but we finally figured it out, and he's trying to look for it on the app. And I'm like, he's like, "Dad, how do you spell blood?" I'm like, "Sound it out." So he goes, "Bl-" So he's spelling it BLUD, and I was like, "Nah, it's actually two O's in it." He's like, "No, Dad, that's blood." How is that blood, Dad? It's blood. And I was just like, listen, that last night I had to give my son the whole breakdown. Listen, JoJo, I also had him watch Goodbye Uncle Tom. Everybody, you got kids, listen, don't be hesitant, don't be sensitive. Let them kids watch that stuff. Trust me, it'll give them a perfect idea as to what the hell is going on in this world. And when you explain stuff to them, especially about Jacob and Esau and us being under the curses and us needing the Most High to get from up under those curses, good movie. I showed my son, we watched like half of it. It's a really long movie, but he was able to receive a lot of it. So I referenced. So I said, "Remember that movie I showed you?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Listen, around that time, when that type of stuff was happening to us, they took our language from us and they forced us to speak this language called English." As you get older, as you study languages, as Dad, teaches you certain things, you're going to be able to navigate through these languages to understand what it's saying, but you're never going to understand why this language is just so ignorant. Very, very ignorant language. You just gonna have to practice it and just go over it a lot. Yeah, that's a 70s slave movie, right? Brother said I couldn't get past the boat scene. Funny thing, my son's mother couldn't get past the first 5 minutes. He got halfway through, and we just fell asleep. But saying all of that to say, I was explaining it to him. He received it. He understands and knows. He understands and knows that we speak Hebrew. I teach him, little Hebrew words here and there, so he understands that that's our language that was taken from us, and we was given this bastard English language, and it is horrible. But saying all of that to say, that's why I have him in homeschool and trying to teach him these medical curriculum is very difficult. But he's only in the first grade, so it was cool to get through that. And his teacher was letting me know that second grade is coming through. It's called Goodbye, Uncle Tom. I'm gonna put it right here. But his teacher was letting me know, like, second grade gets a little bit more difficult, but she was saying third grade, you're really gonna have to be paying a lot of attention to him and be able to set time aside to sit down and work with him, because it's just gonna get really detailed, it's gonna get really intricate, and it's gonna take a lot of attention from the parent. And she was saying that I should consider putting him in school for third grade, or asking me when I planned on putting him in the school. I never want to really completely take him away from it, because this is an environment that he's going to live in. If I shelter him, it's going to be a culture shock when he starts to see it. I never wanted that for him. So I was going to probably put him in school maybe on like fifth, sixth grade, somewhere around, maybe a last year in elementary. And then so he can get the understanding or get the vibe of how school is. And then going into middle school, it'd be cool. Because I just felt like that was a point in time where everything I was teaching him, he'll be able to kind of lock that in, develop the habit of, being more of a leader and not of a follower, just kind of watching and seeing how dad operates and keeping them around me, keeping them up under my wing. So I was considering sending them in third grade. But of course they start, like the sister just pointed out, pushing very heavily, teaching about that community. And then on top of it, they out here shooting these schools up. I don't know. I don't even know. But my last thing before I get off, I'll let you guys know, especially dealing with that movie, don't be sensitive to, shelter or shield your kids away from the harsh realities that we face. But also don't give them and feed them too much information. You know what I mean? Make them aware. Be ahead of the curve. Be ahead of the game. And be able to control the narrative than the idea that's going to be given to them when they get out into the world to hear from somebody else. You'd rather them hear from you, so you're the point of reference of how they understand it, and be willing to have these conversations with them when they come back to you and say, Dad, remember you was telling me about that community? Well, somebody else was saying this about it. And again, it's not to bash them. It's not to sit up here and launch this smear campaign. You thoroughly walk them through what the benefits, the pros, and the cons are. I had to explain to my son why it's important for him to go and find an Israelite woman to have kids with and to build with, rather than, women of another nation. These things are important. I didn't say, oh, because they're stinking, they're dirty, and Esau, you see Esau because God hates them. Nah. You want to build with your own people so that you guys have a common understanding. The kids are not going to be conflicted with following the laws of the Most High or following what their mama did, or their mama's culture or side of the family's culture, and none of that. You want to be able to raise and have children with a woman that is of your own nation, that you guys build and you guys, rock on the same page. And you're just not able to do that with a woman of another nation. She's going to have her concerns and her input. You're going to have yours, and there's going to be a clash. You don't want that. You don't need that. You build with your own. So there's just a seamless, healthy, conducive environment. And all that is cool. Keep it real simple for him. My son's 6 years old. He received it. He got it. If I start bashing him, one, he's going to take that in for himself, and then y'all going to be in the grocery store, and he's going to say, mommy, look at that white devil right there. Even though you ain't got a problem with it, you know your kids saying that out loud. So it's just like, wow, hey, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill out. That's stuff that we, you know what I'm saying, understand that we say over here. But be able to be open and, and communicate with your children so that you can control the narrative of how they see things and how they're introduced to something. Usually, the first way you're introduced to something, as they say, first impression is real, important and real heavy. Their first impression of something is definitely going to dictate and shape how they go about approaching it or dealing with it, since it's definitely going to be so prevalent and around them so much. But recognize that, man. Tomorrow we're gonna get into um, being a fisher of men, and being a sower that go to sow seeds, and the type of patience that we have to have going out to do any of those things, which is the same type of patience and the same type of tactic and skill we have to have when we approach our people when they are part of a lifestyle that we don't agree with, and knowing that in the scriptures it tells us how to do things, how to live this lifestyle, and how they can be fulfilled and grafted back into the good grace of the Most High. I appreciate y'all. Um, See you guys tomorrow at, excuse me. Nope, it's not going to be tomorrow. I didn't lie that fast. I didn't lie. It wasn't on purpose. I misspoke. Sunday. Because tomorrow we go live on the main Sakari channel. Damn. Tomorrow we go live on the main Sakari channel. Damn. I'm over here looking at the schedule. I can go in at 2 tomorrow. So yeah, I didn't lie. 2 o'clock tomorrow. Fishers of Men. Sower to go sow seeds. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna also put the link in the chat tomorrow too, man. If anytime, we always gonna have these midday decompression. If you got anything to say, anything you want to put on the table, let's talk about it. And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. Go like the page, like the channel, share the page, share the channel, share the videos, comment, hit the notification bell so when we go live or post new content, you'll get notified. Yahweh Hashem Yashai Brak a thumb. I appreciate everybody. Shalom. Go to Sakari Philly. I just noticed I was on mute. The brother he didn't get back to me, but go check out the Sakari Philly channel. Go check out all the Sakari channels, man. Just go support those views, those comments. They mean a lot, man. Shalom, guys.